This is pretty random. This was not the plan. Um, I was going to do another work and travel video, but for some reason, it's almost like it's not time for the work and travel video because this has been a video that I've been trying. Well, maybe not trying, but I've been wanting to make since maybe over 6 months ago. Like, yeah. So the reason why I did not make this video before this was really because I thought that there was more to it. You get what I mean? So like the story never finished yet and we never know how to really say it, right? Anyways, it was not the right timing. That's the main reason. Not the right timing. A lot was going on in my life and a whole heap of stuff, but for some reason as I was like thinking about what other video am I gonna do, is like I was going to just do another work and travel, which I'll still do that work and travel video after this, but it's time for me to talk about this since like it's been months, like months. So alright, so I am currently 19, almost 20 years old, like may I get old, but this is basically how I got baptized or how God changed my life. I'm not sure how I'm gonna title this video as yet, but any one of those will work. But yes. Anyway, so I got baptized at age 18. That's 1 year ago. One year ago, yes, 1 year ago at age when I was still 18, and I'm almost 20. But based on when my birthday fall, it's just going to be one. It's 1 year. Anyways, yes, I got baptized 1 year ago, exactly on March 5th, 2023. That was when I got baptized. Anyways, as I said before, the main reason for me not sharing this because it's something that I always say, alright, I'm gonna make this video, but it's like there is just always something or some other videos come before it, or I say I not feel like to make this video, or yeah. But anyways, I hope that this inspires somebody. I hope this opens somebody's eyes. I hope this, change somebody's life. So anyways, I got baptized at age 18. Yep. So let us start the story. We have to go back to 2020 because that was when it all started. So anyways, I in 2020 I was, you know how much years old? I was 15, almost 16, right? Yes, I was 15, almost 16 in 2020. So anyways, I always knew that there was a God. We know that there's God, and I know that there is Jesus, and Jesus died on the cross for us and all that stuff. I knew all that stuff growing up, right? Now, I would say that I come from a Christian family ish, as in most people did not go to church, but all of us were very religious, if you would say that. Like, we believe in God, and who knows about Duppy and them something there. Like, we believe in God. We don't mix up with witchcraft or obia woman or obia woman. We don't know. We don't do those things, right? So, yes. Anyways, I would say so. And I mean, like, my grandmother was a Christian. My grandmother got to church every Sunday. Every Sunday she go to church. So anyways, I was basically in and out, in and out, in and out of church, growing up, in and out. Like, I wasn't like a regular. I was just like, go to church when I feel like, don't go to church when I don't feel like. Anyways, that's how I grew up. So anyways, we have to start in 2020, but just a little bit of a history. When I was younger, I used to get sick a lot. Like, I used to get sick. Like, I used to live at hospital. I used to live in the hospital when we did younger. Like, just putting that point out there, and basically, me soon get back to that. Me just want to mention it here since we are basically my age, we are come up in our age. So as a child, very sickly, and honestly, me don't know how me still alive because as a child, me did sick. But you just always sick, immune system weak. Something was just always wrong with me. So I don't know how I am here at 19 years old. Like the other day, me I think about him. I said, me did sick. Like me did really sick as a child, and here I am at 19, still alive. Like, that's something to be grateful for in and of itself. Anyways, let's continue the story. Alright, so 2020 was COVID. But not just COVID. 2020 was the starting point, or let's just say that's where the seed was planted in for me to go to God, right? Let's just say that. So in 2020, COVID came in March and all that stuff and blah blah blah. But something very important happened, or something very big happened in 2020. In 2020 was the year that my grandmother passed away, right? 2020 was the year that my grandmother passed away. And like looking back now, I don't think me really express how me did really feel and all that stuff. But yeah, in 2020 she passed away, and it did really hit me because it's almost like me did see her this Sunday, and it's like by the Tuesday she's sick, and maybe by the Friday she dead. Or I don't know, it's just everything is happening really, really, really quickly, really fast. But anyways, it did really take a toll on me. Like me did in grade 10. Yes, so I was in grade 10, and it did really shake me up, like wickedly shake me up. Like, life is short. Like, what am I doing with my life? You ever just stop and say, what am I doing with my life? And this is a grandmother that I was close with, like close with. So even if my own mother don't want to sit down and listen to me, or you go with me and say, like, my grandmother was a talkative person and me talkative, so we didn't really have that in common, and we just sit down and talk, and you get what I mean? So that was a bond that I had with her, because me love chat and she loved chat too. So yeah. Anyways, when she died, it really shake things up for me. Basically, kind of turned my entire world upside down when she died, because it was just unexpected. Anyways, I was coping, and you know what I mean, I say I went through the how much stages of denial, not denial, of grief. Why me say denial of grief? So I went through all the stages of grief, and then that is where I made it really start talk to God. Like me, I said, God, why would you do that? Like, why did I take her away? I'm a baller. I said, God, you're supposed to be, you're supposed to love us. You're supposed to want the best for us. You're supposed to want to give us life. And that is where the confrontation with God would really start. When she died, because me, I said, God, that makes no sense. She did still kind of young for her age. I mean, she kind of young for her grandmother. Like, she did in her 60s, but me consider that young, because some people are live to all them 90s or 80s. Anyways, it was just too sudden. So it was like, God, why would you do that? And those were the conversations that me and God did have at the time. The battle inside, like, God, why you did that? Why you really do that? Why would you take her away? Why you never save her alive? Those were the conversations. And it's that major point where I realized, and then of course, you know, when I go through grief, then the blame game, and all of that stuff happened. Anyways, moving on in the story, I realized that this is not going anywhere. Me telling me, basically, I would call it cuss. I don't really cuss me that cuss, but confronting God or being upset with God, and realizing that never lasts long, because I was breaking down. Me that break down inside, like my world that crashed down. Like, the same God who me a cuss, and I say, why would I do that? The same God, me literally have to run to the same God and tell the same God, say, me need him for go on, me need him for still life. Like, me need him. Like, the same God who me a cuss, say him take her away, that same God, me have to hold on pan him hand, because I realize me cannot do it. Anyways, yeah, so those were the baby seeds that were planted in basically with my relationship with God at the time. So anyways, I started having, like, I'm just saying, like goals, different goals. So for me, the goal was always to come to UE, like from grade 9, come to UE, come do medicine and whatever, and become a doctor. And you know, like, I had my whole entire life planned out to the T, if you get what I'm saying. Then it's like God come in, and God just wish. God just said, nah. That's not happening. And like, literally, that is what happened with my life. Like, God just come in, and God just turn it around, and him flip it, and him everything, until me didn't say, hold on, I'm not in control. Hold on. how this will happen. Like, hey, looking back now, I cannot laugh because God really come in and just shake up my entire life. Anyway, I started having some goals and I said, alright, here what? Life is too short. I want to study abroad. Bear in mind, this is a very important part of the story. I want to study abroad. So I said, God say, I'm going to go study abroad. And at the time, I said, Canada, maybe we could afford Canada more because, so when you go study in Canada, you have more benefits after you graduate and stuff like that. So I said, maybe Canada versus the US would have been a better option. I set my entire hope and my entire dreams on this and I said, okay, I'm going to live life to the fullest. Like, why should I live life and have regrets? Like, those are the thoughts. And all of that basically started when my grandmother died. I saw the world differently. Like, I don't know what kind of life I live back then. I don't know how I was viewing the world, but I know that when she died, I never looked at the world the same again. Anyways, I said, okay, I want to travel and I want to make the best out of life because life is short. Anyways, I put my entire hopes and my dreams in this. I even got the acceptance letter to a school in Canada. And I was like, yes, God, okay. And by the way, just to give you like a insight into my relationship with God during that time. And basically we're in 2021 now. We jump over in 2021 at this point in the story. I started praying to God. Like, me never used to pray in the morning, but every night before me go to bed, I pray to God. I say, thank you, Lord. So every night I go to bed, I say, thank you, Lord. And so that was it. So that was how the thing started now. So I started praying every night. I never pray in the morning, because I keep on forget. I literally remember. I did always I said, oh, I wake up and I don't remember to pray. But every single night before I go in bed, I that pray. Anyways, 2021 came over and I said my entire hope, dreams, aspirations, every single drop of hope into going to school abroad because I thought that this was what God wanted for me and I thought that this is what me wanted, so God wanted that too. And then everything down to the acceptance letter I had in my hand, I was like, I am going to school abroad. And then God said, listen, you're not going, you're not going, you're not going, you're not going. So how do you think I felt at that time? So anyways, nobody understand what putting your hopes and dreams and aspirations into something and to see your dreams and your hopes and everything crash right in front of your eyes. Nobody understands what that does to you psychologically. That is more than just, oh, you don't get your way and it never end there for me. It did mash up my head. It messed with my mind at that time because how can I put all my hope, all my dreams, all my aspirations into something and you tell me and God gonna tell me saying that you want? Then why would you bring me here if that's not what you wanted? Right? So that's in the story and I'm not gonna lie, it kinda made me develop some trust issues and some issues that come about at that time, to be honest. So anyway, some trust issues and stuff. Anyway, so in the story, them say, alright, go apply for UA. And so I said, okay, fine, I'm going to apply to UA. So anyways, I was upset. Remember at the time, I did actually upset with my father. Like, because, basically I'm upset with my entire family. Because the vision I saw, nobody else saw it. Nobody saw what I was seeing. And it was then and there I realized that, well, God really showed me that the visions that and the hope and the aspiration and the goals that I see that He gave to me, the other people around me cannot see what I see because I saw something at that time, and that is why I was pushing it so much. Anyways, people weren't on board. Move on. And then what happened in the story? I applied to UE. Somebody did bar about it. Remember, cry to sleep one night, and them tell me something now go. Canada and it messed with me for like months afterwards. But we don't like for quote unquote dwell on the past. So what I did, I tried to pick myself up and everything. So then tell me say, okay, you're not going to Canada. It messed with me psychologically. Anyway, I applied to UE and I'd say that That was happening. We're jumping at 2022 now. Yeah, let's just, we're thinking at 2022 now. Anyway, I ended up applying to UE and everything, and yeah. So I got into UE. So I said, okay, me I come at UE. I never really want to come at UE, but them say come at UE. So I said, okay, come at UE. Anyway, I came to UE thinking that, okay, I'm going to transfer to medicine. Like, all right, maybe that's what God want. Maybe God want me to go back to the original plan, right? So let's do that. So I came to UE, and just to put things in the context, there were other things happening in my life at the time. Actually, I felt like I was spiraling. Like, you ever just reach a point in your life where you feel like the cycle, like you keep on doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. But basically, that first semester, I struggled to stay on top of the work, struggled with everything. Like when I tell you mental breakdowns, mental breakdowns to get through that first semester at UE. So anyway, I felt like I was spiraling, the work piled up on me, life was overwhelming, everything was just bam, bam, bam. There was a lot of things, there were things that I could even believe were happening. So anyways, I said one day is like something say, when I say God church, because most students or some students use it as an excuse that when they come on campus, them not feel bad, well, the Christian one them, well, you come on campus, you're not feel bad God church no more, you're not a parents are watching, etc. etc. But for me, it's so funny that most Christians when them come here, or me not gonna say most, let me say some, they take this as an opportunity to not go to church, or them take it as an opportunity to leave church. While in my situation, it was what pulled me to church, if that makes sense. So I said it's like I lived on top floor, and so bottom floor was, so basically the girls on bottom floor would usually go to church. So it's like one day God said, when I say go to church, and I say, alright, I feel like more go to church this Sunday we are coming. So I go to with one of the girl them, and basically this particular person played a very big role in me deciding to get baptized and giving my life to God and everything, because she was, you ever meet somebody and them just have a glow, not to say that them perfect or them life is all together, but them carry themselves in such a way that, when, I don't know, we can't even explain it, but she had a glow about her. Like, regardless of what happens, she's going to be okay. It was like that confidence, that aura. And me said, but wait, okay. Anyway, so I went to her and I said, alright, can I come to church with you guys tomorrow and blah blah blah. Anyway, she said yes. I'm start go to church with them. Realize I like it, and me say, alright, me go back, go back. And then them I got asked to get baptized and everything. So we go to church. Let me just me jump the gun. Let me go back to the day me go to church. So the day I went to church, the song Jara, the same Jara, we say you are Jara. That song, I gonna consider that to be my song, because it all basically started with Jara. And when I went to church, and when when I sing the song Jara, and when they said, if he dresses the lilies with beauty and splendor, how much more will he clothe you? How much more will he clothe you if he watches over every sparrow? Anyway, when I went and I hear the song Jara, it's like something lick me, beat me down, like me almost one ball. And me's like, wait, why am I even worried? Why am I stressed out by school? Why is life overwhelming? Why am I not coping? And the reason for that was because I was trying to do everything in my own strength. But I put everything on my shoulders. I said, you have to be perfect, you have to get this done, you have to do this, and you have to do this. And the truth is that it was never my place to take on all the burdens of life. It was never my place. Why should I carry this and this and this and this? It was people problem me that carry upon my shoulder. People problem. And me's like, God, what am I doing? Why am I for bring all of this? And anyway, I heard Jara, and then we started going to church with them and everything. Anyway, fast forward a bit, I decided to get baptized. So the day when I did the altar call, I was not going. Because I don't really like go for altar unless I pray about prayer for you, because yeah. Anyways, so that particular Sunday, it's like I could stay in my seat. Like when I do the altar call, it's like, if you're not a Christian and blah blah blah, I don't know how I reach up until this day. I don't know what lift up my body and bring my body to the altar. I don't know, but it's like my body just reach up there and then I pray and everything. I'm in a ball and yeah, it was a whole thing. Anyways, that happened, and that was actually in late November. Late November. So now I went home for the Christmas break and everything and everything and everything. Exam did come, go home for Christmas break, and funny enough, my baptism never take place until March. So I said yes in late November, and my baptism did not come until March because every single time I was supposed to get baptized, is either I go home or something came up or the church never did have it this time. But and when they had it, me keep on I miss it like me don't know, but everything was going against me getting baptized, and I tell you everything was just you're not doing it, even when doubts start coming to my mind and everything. I mean, sorry, I don't know if maybe this made me crazy. Like one really I do. And then the thing that came to me is that the biggest thing was like, can I even be a Christian? Like, what does it even mean to be a Christian? Because in my perception, I thought that Christians have to be perfect. You have to be perfect. You have to have it all together. You have to listen to me. Listen to me. Even after getting baptized, I can tell you this: Christians are not perfect. Christians are not perfect, and them don't have it all together. Like them, literally, the only difference with someone who's, I would say, a Christian is that they don't carry the burden alone. Like they give God, or they have faith to walk by faith and not by sight. Like they have God to help them to. But just because you're a Christian, it doesn't exempt you from hardship. It don't exempt you from hard life. You still have to go through it. You literally still have to do it. So, anyways, one other thing that really concerned me was that I just said, I never know if I could be a Christian. Like, what does it mean to be a Christian? Because I see some people and them all up themselves, and I say, no. Like, a part of me, I've always been reserved. That I want thing, reserved bad, and I stand in my yard. But a part of me is like, I not really feel all up myself. I wear skirt go down to me ankle, and you know what I mean. I say, like, me is not that person. And so it's like, me if I go to God and I say, God, you want me to change myself? Like, how you expect me to change who I am? And it was a whole thing until God said, I never ask you to change who you are, or like really are inside. Because to me, I thought like becoming a Christian means my personality, because sometimes I love laugh to people and things like that. Like that part of me, the personality part would have to go, and it's like God I say, me never say, like God said to me, me never tell you say you have to change who you are or your personality. Him just got trim off the bad parts around it, like the piece them, like the rotten parts them around it. That's all them want to get rid of. Him never say my change. You get me, son? And so when God said me say okay, and then I realized that, especially since becoming a Christian and getting baptized, like who cares? Like when it comes to clothes and stuff like that, of course I'm say modesty, but I think that sometimes we put too much emphasis on the wrong things. Like, who really cares? Who cares about that? And who cares about this? And who cares? And no, but literally, Christians are some of the most broken people. Them go through some things in their life, and that's how I would say it. Because for somebody, or in my opinion right now, is for somebody to really say to, and I don't mean people who are Christians from a baby and them just baptized long time. I mean like you being an adult or in a teenage, like up in your age, teenage, and you're like, okay, I accept God. Like you actively making that decision is way different from if a 5-year-old child get baptized. Because I know people who have been baptized as they were a child, and they probably have, well, it's not my place to judge or if it come in, but their Christianity is so watered down because it was not a conscious decision. Like they just said it, they just did it just because, and now some of them held on to the faith and grew. Some of them let go of it because it's like they were just forced, or their mother tell them to do it and look up it, and it don't mean nothing to them now. So I had to learn all of that stuff. Anyways, I got baptized, and yeah, I got baptized exactly March 5th, 2023. Since then it's been interesting. But maybe I'm gonna make a part two. That's gonna be a part two of my life after getting baptized. Part two of that. But basically this is the story of how I got baptized. I feel like me no man, I feel like me leave out some stuff out of the story. Anyways, but yeah, so anyway, but that person, that girl, she really played a role in motivating me, encouraging me to give my life to Christ. And let me tell you, it's really the best decision that you could ever make. Like for me, growing up, you dream about getting married and stuff like that. But honestly, after my baptism day, I not think like at this point, even my birthday, up there, like the baptism day. Not even, I don't think me even be that excited for your wedding or whatever. Yeah, for your wedding. Like, not even my wedding day now go top that day. Like, it's like that day took the cake for everything. But that's just really me sharing the first part of the story. There will be a part two, elaborating more and explaining more and all that stuff. Basically, so far in the story, the first time me and God have the encounter was when my grandmother died in 2020. And basically, he changed the way how I saw the world and everything. So, my point of view on life changed in 2020. And then by 2022, the same God broke my heart, quote unquote, because basically having a goal, my dream to study abroad, and it's like God just rip it apart in front of my eyes, and I say, okay. I'm not gonna like it did really take me a step back. It did hard to really trust God because me say God, me pray although me never pray about anything in my entire life like how me pray for go to school abroad. Nothing. I've never prayed for anything the way I prayed to go to school abroad. Nothing. And it was the first time that I was at the time I was more consistent and keeping up with the prayers, and I said, God, you are for me, and who can be against me? That song, like all that stuff, and I said, okay, I'm going. I put every ounce of willpower, hope, everything, and I thought that this is what God wanted for me. If I want it, then God wanted to, and plus God brought me this far into it, so why would God bring me here and then rip it apart? That was my thought process. So anyways, in 2020, my grandmother passed away, and I said to God, why would you take her away? And I was angry with God. Skip forward into 2022, I was angry with God again, because God, you're not allowing me to go to school abroad. I have put so much hope on this. Nobody really understood what studying abroad meant for me. Nobody understood. Nobody understood how much hope was on it. You get me? You ever want something and you want it so bad, and you think you're this close to getting it, and then it just drop. So, anyways, let me continue the story. As I said before, other things were happening behind the scenes in my life. Anyway, I started UE, and I thought that okay, we'll decide to do UE and we'll try to transfer to medicine and all that stuff. My first semester at UE was horrible. Like mental breakdowns after mental breakdowns after mental breakdowns, coping with work under pressure, stress out. I was going down. That's the only way I can really describe it. I was going down, like the things that were happening in the background in my life, that did that push me down. Then on top of it, when you look at the point, because for me, I was very unwilling. Like, me never want to come at UE, and God have me at UE. So, as you can see, at the time, me and God did have this very love and hate. We don't want to call it love and hate relationship, but it was a very back and forth. Because me keep on, I go to God and I argue with him. And me keep on, I go to God and I'm upset with him. Like, most of the, when we look on it now, like, looking back, the early stages of my relationship with God, most of it was me being upset. I always talk to him, I'm upset, and I'm like, God, but why would you do that, and why would you do that? And I remember when I came to UE, one particular night, me just literally go sleep, I'm just a ball, because like, this is not where I saw my life. This is not where I should be. That's what I thought. And like, God, why you have me here? Why am I here? And this is not what I want. This is not a part of the plan. Like, how you have me here? And I'm a very headstrong person. I like things my way, right? I like to get people on board with my way. And he's like, I said to God, is my way or the highway? And I was just not backing down because my way has to come out. Anyways, I was going down in the semester, keeping up with the work. Don't underestimate the work at university. The work did a pile up and it under pressure. So much did that take place in my life. Mentally, the mental breakdowns are a real thing, you know. Everything crashing on down on me, especially when I thought about every single time that I was in my dorm room for the first semester of the UE. All I can think about is the fact that I should have been abroad, I should have been in Canada, I should not be here now. Anyways, and then it's like a part of you would say, oh, you want to quote unquote blame people and say, oh, who never do this and who never do that, and it's like God said to me, say, why you have so much expectations of people? Like, don't get me wrong, it's not like, oh, you cannot trust people, but it's like God say, why you have so much expectations for other people? And it's like God said, you have those same expectations for me. And I thought about it and I kind of calm down, because I not lie, I did ready. Anyway, not to fight, but I have a mouth, we just don't know the ending sometimes. But anyway, so it was like that, and I was like, God, what do you really want me to do? Because anyway, so when God told me that, no, God said, why you put so much trust in other people? Like, why don't you put the same trust in me? I think about it, and it's like, that's true. I put so much trust in I put so much hope in my mother, put so much hope in my father, everybody around me put so much hope, because me as a person, I always try to see the good in the bad and in the everything else. I always try to pick out that. And it's like, God said, but why you put so much hope in them? Like, that's the reason why you keep on getting disappointed. That is why you keep on getting hurt. And it's not to say you can't love them or whatever, but there has to be a line, right? There has to be a line where it's like, you're sure of where the expectation should end. Like, when you put yourself like that, it really give you, I don't know, it just put you in a place where they can hurt you differently, and usually it's the people closest to you can hurt you. Anyway, so all that stuff was happening in my life at the time. Some of it never made no sense, but really and truly, God definitely changed my life. He has changed me so much internally. Like, the person I was last year and the person I am right now are two different people. Two different people. Like, the characteristics, or not mean say characteristic, but my character has changed so much. You won't believe, which that is for the part two, but I'm just saying my character has changed so much. No, I'm not perfect. Nobody don't have it all figured out altogether, but there has there has been changes, and there has been opportunities that have presented themselves in my life, like things that I could even dream for or even want. Like, God gave me so much more than we could even ask, think, or imagine. Yeah. But anyway, this is just part one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is just my baptism story, getting baptized at 18 years old. And oh yes, there were people who were supportive. The counselors at the church, they were supportive in helping me, get into the church and all that stuff. And I'd say this is one decision that I don't regret. I don't think I've ever just sit down and regret, oh, we regret to get baptized. Like, it reached a point where in your life you realize that there is nothing in the world, because I felt so empty. The world made me feel empty. The people around me made me feel empty. It's like what I needed, only God could give me that. Like, honestly, the people around me, it was just empty, empty, empty. And God was the only thing that can fill, that could and still continues to fill that void. But anyways, that's the end of this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you have any comments, comment them down below. And also stay tuned for part two, because let's find out what happened after God entered my life. Let's find out what happened next after that. Anyways, bye guys.